Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here with another update video. This is for the week of November 12th to the 18th. Here I'll be talking about planned content for the week as well as new releases to the PC and any major releases that may be coming to console. But before that, I want to let you know that the gameplay into the background is coming from Sine Mora. This is a horizontal shooter, or shoot 'em up if you prefer to call it that. I did do a first 40 video on this title earlier in the week, so if you like what you see, definitely go check that out. I think the game's a lot of fun, although a little bit darkly themed and also very short campaign mode. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and hop into this week's new releases. Starting on Monday, there was the release of Thomas Was Alone. This is a simplistic, minimalistic, is what it's actually called, a 2D platformer. I don't think this is going to be a title that I'll be taking a look at. In fact, many of the new releases this week I won't be taking a look at for one of two reasons. Either I'm just not interested, or it's the re-release or the repackaging of a title that's already came out, or expansions. There's actually a few of those happening this week. Now on to Tuesday releases. We're actually seeing quite a few games come out today. First of all, there's F1 Race Stars, which is sort of the Mario Kart style racing game. I looked at that game's demo last week. If you're interested, definitely check that out. Won't be taking a look at the retail version just because I think it's a bit overpriced and I really don't want to promote it anymore as a result. For myself, at least in particular, I believe the asking price, it was either $40 or $50. I can't recall which, but either one of those was way too much for what seemed like very simple and limited gameplay. At least in my looking at the demo and what the game had to offer at full release. Also coming out today, Tropico 4 Gold Edition, Sims 3 Seasons, Scribblenauts Unlimited, and Rift Storm Legion, which is an expansion, of course, to the MMO Rift. Won't be looking at any of those, but a couple of games coming out today that I do hope to take a look at. First of which is Black Ops 2. I'm going to be giving this game a go-around. There's actually potentially 3 videos that I could do for this because the game is segmented into 3 sections. In fact, when you download the title, if you get it through Steam, for example, there's 3 separate icons that'll get thrown onto your desktop. There's the campaign mode for Call of Duty Black Ops 2, then there is the multiplayer mode, and then zombie mode as well. So all of those things potentially could be videos. I think at the very least I'm going to show you the campaign and potentially zombie mode. If I get the time to spend enough playtime with the multiplayer and I feel like I could make a good video and an informed video for you guys, then I might be doing that as well. So yeah, next couple of days probably will be filled with a few Black Ops videos. I do also have to say here, and I'll probably mention it again when I release the video, it's been a good 3 years since I've played a Call of Duty title. I'm really in the position now when it comes to the content that I produce and the things that I'm trying to do with my channel and brand and the website and everything, that I want to be very well versed and be knowledgeable about all these games. And you know, I've ripped on Call of Duty before, saying it's just a re-releasing of the same thing, but if I'm going to say something like that, I need to make sure that I'm informed enough in the sense that I've played these titles so that I can actually speak onto that. I don't want to just say things because it's said, you know, among the industry. Lots of people say, oh, Call of Duty is the same thing every year, and it's so easy to jump on that bandwagon. And I want to make sure, again, that I'm really spending enough time with these major games that I can speak in an informed manner on them. And the only way to do that is to play it. So I figure I might as well show you guys some content as well, give you my initial impressions and everything like that. Also coming out today is LEGO Lord of the Rings, and this actually, I'm more excited to see this game than I am to look at Black Ops 2, although, you know, I'm not going to pass judgment yet on that game like I just said. But anyways, LEGO Lord of the Rings, you know, I've heard a lot of really good things about the LEGO games, like LEGO Batman in particular. Lots of people say, oh, it's so awesome, Force, you got to check it out. But, you know, I never got around to it. It was released some time ago, so it's really, I wasn't in a position to go back and check that out or anything. But for one, okay, so LEGO games are supposed to be good, and second of all, I just love anything Lord of the Rings. I mean, I'm a huge nerd when it comes to that type of game, and just that genre, you know, the high fantasy sort of thing with elves and goblins and orcs and all that stuff. So I'm really excited to see what LEGO Lord of the Rings is all about, and hopefully it turns out to be as good as other LEGO games that people have claimed that they are. So yeah, that is out today. I'll be looking at that at some point this week. Because of all the Black Ops stuff, it may not be until later in the week, but I definitely will check that out at some point. Also coming on Thursday is Magic Drop 5, just some stupid arcadey game. I'm really not interested in that at all either. Alright, so those are the new releases here this week. Let me also tell you what I plan to do for the rest of the content on the channel. We're going to expect the regular stuff, Force Feed, StarCraft 2, all that jazz, all the normal content here for the channel. I also hope to revisit Firefall. I might actually come out with a PvP video. This has been the game for the past couple of weeks now, that I've been spending most of my casual playtime with. I'm just, you know, they keep adding more stuff to Firefall. I've been really getting back into it. I think the game's a lot of fun, a lot of potential. I don't think it's getting nearly enough attention. I really think it deserves more attention, because I think if people were to play the beta, they would see that it's a really cool game. And I know that a lot of the hype has died down for that title, but I must say that I still think it's really interesting. I still think it has a lot of potential, and I will be keeping an eye on it. So you might see another Firefall video from me this week. And beyond, you know, we talked about all this week's new releases, and you know, a lot of them are like repackagings or expansions and stuff like that. But really, besides Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and Lego Lord of the Rings, there's nothing else that I'm going to be looking at this week that's new releases. So this will provide me some more time to catch back up with some of the content that I've hoped to cover for other games that have been released over the past few weeks. You know, I mentioned this last week, and I was able to check out a few betas and catch up on a couple of games that I missed. I actually just took a look at PID, and of course we had Sine Mora as well, and we're going to try to keep that going and look at some of those potentially interesting games that I haven't got to cover yet. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about holiday-related content. So here's the deal. You know, I talk about a lot of things in terms of my plans for coverage and my plans for even coming out with new channels and stuff, and I do want to talk to you about that. The first thing I want to say is I'm hoping to start doing some holiday related content. We're getting to that time of year. We've got Thanksgiving coming up, and of course we've got the glorious Xmas, Christmas, if you will. And you know, I hope to do some holiday themed gaming coverage during those events. And of course we just had Halloween. Unfortunately, completely missed that because of all the craziness that was going on in my personal life and the moving. I was literally like moving on Halloween, just all that stuff was happening. So I wasn't able to do what a few weeks prior to that point I was planning to do, which was, you know, come out with a full day of like really scary videos of just like spooky games and really stuff like that. I thought that would have been really interesting, but again, because of the move and everything else that was going on, I wasn't able to do that. But I'm hoping for Thanksgiving and for Christmas that we can get something like that. It's just some themed days going, maybe leading up to or the day of releasing some. Are there any Thanksgiving themed video games? I'll have to look into that. If you guys know of any, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm sure there's like a few Flash games. That could be a little fun, I suppose. But yeah, let me touch on briefly when I talk about like ideas that I have. You know, there's a lot of things. I've got a lot of things that I want to do. Fortunately, with the number of hours in the day, it's really impossible to do everything that I want. Let me just lay this out here really quick. Let me over the past couple of years and even just the past few months, these are the things that I've thought about devoting time to. We of course had the Healthy Gamers channel that I talked about. I want to get back into podcasting. I've thought about making a Let's Play channel for just doing straight up Let's Play videos as opposed to sort of the more informed videos. These would be more of entertaining purpose. I've also, you know, thought about getting into some more cinematic things in terms of making like short films, gaming related or otherwise. There's so much that I want to do, and I know sometimes I'll release these videos and I'll tell you, hey guys, I plan to do this. This is what I'd like to do. And what ends up happening is I realize after a couple of days, crap, I can't fit that into my schedule. So I want to apologize for that. I want to apologize for maybe putting ideas in your head in terms of what I'll be doing and having them fall through. And this happens, unfortunately, more than I would like, and it's definitely nothing that I'm happy about because, you know, I have these ideas and I get so excited about them and I want to share them with you guys and let you know, hey, I'd like to do this. But because of time constraints and things, it just doesn't happen. And it could partially come down to time management. I do believe that there is more that I could do with my days. Although I do work very long and very hard, I think that if I manage my time a little better, I'd be able to do more. And again, that's something that I would definitely like to do. I also think it just has to do with sort of where my business is. You know, I'm in the position right now where I'm more than capable of supporting myself and my family. I live with my girlfriend and I pretty much take care of everything. Like, I'm doing well enough to live off of this without much of an issue, and we're living pretty comfortably, but I don't quite make enough to really be able to hire people, at least at a reasonable rate. I could pay people like, you know, $10 an hour or something really small, but I wouldn't get quality work from that, unfortunately, and that's what I need. So until I'm making enough that I can pay people for their time to assist me with things, then it's really hard for me to do a lot of the extra things that I would like to do. Having a helping hand would definitely assist with that, but again, I'm just not quite in the position where I can give someone a reasonable amount of money and expect them to work hard and do a good job, and that's sort of why I'm in this limbo state. The good thing though is that my channel is always growing, and on average my videos continue to continue to get more and more views. I think that as I put in the hard work, the effort, and the time, that this growth will continue. And then hopefully sooner than later, I will be making enough so that I can afford to pay someone and have some people that are really working with me and assisting me with doing the things that I want to do and coming out with this content that I'd like to produce. So again, apologies for maybe getting people excited about my planned future content and then it falling through. There are, again, a lot of ideas that I have. It comes down to time. It comes down to money, really, because as the wonderful goblins at Booty Bay taught us, yes, that is a World of Warcraft reference. Time is money, my friend. Time is indeed money. That is how it works. So there you go. We'll figure things out. I will try my best to make do on a lot of the things that I've talked to you guys about. There's a lot of ideas that I have, a lot of plans that I have for my future, the channel's future, and the brand. It's just a matter of getting around to figuring out exactly how to do it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this update video for the week of November 12th to the 18th. Pretty exciting. I'm actually really looking forward to checking out Black Ops 2 and LEGO Lord of the Rings and just all the regular stuff. So I will see you guys next week with another update video. Thanks again for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.